State will be kicking the ball off to start the second half. Navy will be getting it very quickly. Some scores of other games. Up in Atlanta, Georgia, Notre Dame has jumped on top of Georgia Tech in the first quarter, 3-0. Notre Dame 10th ranked. Army and Pitt tied up in the first quarter, 7-7. Navy must still play Army. Boston College leading Syracuse 7-0 in the first quarter. The Orangemen, who had the big win over Navy a week ago. Holy Cross beating Rutgers 7-3, second quarter. Colgate trailing Delaware in the first quarter. The Dartmouth-Princeton game is the game for the Ivy League championship. Dartmouth leads at 28-14 at the half. Michigan taking a big step toward the Rose Bowl and certainly toward their big battle with Ohio State next week, leading Purdue 17-0. Capice hits the kick for Florida State. Dwayne Dennis, number 48, bringing it back for Navy. Dennis gets it back to the 20-yard line, and that is where the midshipmen will start the offense after a 15-yard return. This was the only touchdown of the first half. It came after a long completion, Jordan to Ramsey, the quick pitch to Greg Ramsey, the 11-yard touchdown run, the block by Sam Platt just at the edge of your screen as Ramsey went in, and the extra point kick by Kaplan gave Florida State a 7-3 lead. Later, Tata cut it to 7-6 for Navy. That's where we stand right now. As Bob Lashinsky brings the midshipmen out to start the offense, they go with the tight end reverse. Carl Hendershot with the football. Hendershot gets about 4. It's a play they love to run with Kurt Gaynor, the great sophomore tight end from Albany, Georgia, but Gaynor is not playing so far today because of a hip pointer. Some more scores from up east. Massachusetts leading New Hampshire. And it will be second down 7 for Navy. There's a big one. Iowa State leading Colorado 17-10 at the half. Mike Sherlock, tailback with the ball, gets across the 25. There's a red balloon in the middle of the field. The official goes to get rid of that. He popped it. Got a little roar from the crowd. Arkansas has now gone on top of Texas A&M 13-7 at the half. Indiana giving Ohio State some trouble. On third down and 3, Sandy Jones is the split receiver to the top of your screen. Papa John is to the bottom. Picked off. Number 28 is Keith Jones. Hendershot tackles him, but Jones comes back across the 30 to the 28-yard line. Second turnover of the ball game for Navy. It sets Florida State up in excellent field position.
Lashinsky dropped straight back, trying to go across, forced the ball in the middle. There were 2 people there, but Keith Jones came across and made the interception, really going into the coverage. Looked like Gary Henry was also there, but Keith Jones made the big play. Perfect timed interception. Here it is again. Across the middle. Watch, he's forcing the ball. Too many people around. Henry's there. And also, of course, Keith Jones makes the play.
On first down, Holmes Johnson has the football. The Navy defense has been very tough against the running game all day. Chuck Zingler came up from his cornerback position to stop up the play and hold Holmes Johnson to no gain. It will be second down 10 from the 28. Jordan is still in there at quarterback. He replaced Wally Woodham after Woodham threw 2 interceptions in the first half. Johnson now 11 carries for 33 yards in the game. Sam Platt is the wide receiver to the top of your screen. Unglaub to the bottom. Johnson has a hole, but it closes up quickly as he gets about 4 to the 24.
Statistically, Navy's made all the mistakes that they have been averaging the season. They've had their fill of mistakes. They came in the ball game. They're conservative, don't make mistakes. They've made 2 that have cost them.
Greg Milo, number 49, made the stop on the play from his rover back position. And now it is third down, 6 yards to go for a Seminole first down. They need to get it to the 18. Wide receivers are Unglaub and Platt. Jordan wants to throw to Lyles. He makes the juggling catch. Milo stops him well short of the first down. It will bring up a field goal situation. Davy Kaplan will come on to try to kick it for Florida State.
Here Jordan throws the number 2 receiver, Lyles, number 48. It's just a straight drop back. Then he hits the receiver, Lyles, the fullback, out of the backfield. Puts the pressure on the perimeters, the corner.
Milo made the big stop for Navy. Kaplan, number 1, on to kick the field goal. He is 5 of 10 on the season. Wally Woodham is in the hole. Kick is good. So the Seminoles have extended their lead to 10-6. After picking up the turnover, the big play is the interception by Keith Jones. 38-yard field goal by Kaplan. Florida State leads at 10-6 with 11:58 left in the third, and we'll be back. Who hits the kickoffs for Florida State? There's Sandy Jones, wide receiver for Navy, deep to receive. Jones collides with Dwayne Dennis at the goal line. Dennis keeps the football and gets out only to the 13. Michael Whiting, number 27, flying downfield to break the wedge. Here's another look.
There's a collision. Watch 48. Dennis really plow in. Number 89, Sandy Jones. He earned that one. Goes upfield.
Sometimes you get that kind of benefit if you kick the ball low, as Capice did on that kickoff, thereby not allowing the two receivers time enough to judge which man should make the play.
Or to communicate and say, you got it.
That's right. They spot the ball at the 14, where Navy starts the offense with Klein and Sherlock as the setbacks. Ron Simmons is the man who was riding the back of Sherlock. It's a loss of a yard. It will be second down 11. You look at Bob Lachinsky as he gets the play from number 35, Mike Chapon. George Welsh now using the wingbacks to shuttle in his plays. Papa John and Chapin are both to the same side, the bottom of your screen. 23 is Sherlock. And again, it was Ron Simmons who diagnosed the play, dropped Sherlock, and got the football for Florida State on a turnover. Mark Masick recovering the fumble.
But the play is Ron Simmons. I really think he's starting to take on the role of Hercules in that middle defensive line for the Seminoles. He's really turned the ball game around just by his defensive play.
You saw Masick, the big defensive tackle from Wyandotte, Michigan, who came up with the football on the fumble near the sidelines. Ron Simmons made the hit.
Simmons can do that. He's got a neck size of 19 inches. His biceps are 20 inches, thighs 27, and his waist is 32.
He's been lifting weights for 8 long years. Lyles pounding up the middle. On first down from just outside the 10. He gets about 4 to the 7-yard line. They can make a first down without scoring. We look at the fumble play again.
Watch number 50, Ron Simmons, just really put his arm around the running. Oh, he really gets on the running back. Mike Sherlock causes the fumble.
Ripped the ball loose as he wrestled Sherlock to the ground.
They ought to get him on a wrestling team.
In the first half, Simmons had 4 unassisted tackles and a fumble recovery. Now he has 2 more unassisted tackles and has caused a fumble. Second down, 6 yards to go. Unglaub to the top of your screen, Platt to the bottom. Jimmy Jordan gives to Holmes Johnson. Johnson is met and dropped as he gets just inside the 5. We will look again in slow motion at the Sherlock fumble, the big play by Simmons.
Sherlock, Ron Simmons just powers him. Now he's got the great speed, the 4.5 and the 40, and just really, they call that in Oklahoma bulldog.
The ball came loose, and Masick, 67, fell on it.
That would scare the ball out of my hands to see Ron Simmons coming at me.
Third down. 3.5 yards to go for the first down, 4 yards for the touchdown. Jordan wants to throw. He's looking for Platt. He's got it. Touchdown.
He put the move on him. Chuck Zingler, number 36, was covering man on man. Platt put it on him.
Jimmy Jordan showed a lot of confidence. He threw before Platt completed the move.
That's why he's in the football game right now.
So Sam Platt with the 4-yard touchdown catch for FSU. And the Seminoles have come out, created 2 early turnovers deep in Navy territory. They got the field goal from Kaplan. Now they get the touchdown pass, Jordan to Platt. And Kaplan's extra point stretches the lead to Florida State 17, Navy 6. The midshipmen are up against it. We'll be back. The kickoff is taken by Dwayne Dennis. That is one, and again, Dennis is unable to get out to the 20-yard line. A 15-yard return. He's dropped at the 16 by Carlton Jones, reserve defensive end. And we look again at the touchdown.
Two things make the play work. One, the timing of the quarterback, Jimmy Jordan, the fake inside, the pass timing, throwing before the break is made. Sam Platt, 29, really put Chuck Zingler in a peculiar situation. Just made a move on the out route, looked inside, went out, left Mr. Zingler 5 yards behind him for the touchdown.
Turned him all the way around.
All the way.
First down from the 16. Lazinski wants to strike back. Looking down the middle, overthrows Papa John. Keith Jones almost had his second interception of the ball game. That could have been a crippling blow for Navy, a team which is not used to making offensive mistakes. They've made two big ones early in the second half here. That was almost the third.
And back to what we said in the pregame, the defensive line, the offensive line. Who's winning the battle now? Ron Simmons is making his presence known, putting the pressure on the quarterback, causing the mistakes.
Ron Simmons early in the season was not playing the kind of football he played a year ago. He put on 16 pounds since last year. Heavy in that weight room, lifting weights. But he didn't have the quickness. Now he's starting to play better. Number 38 is Chris Klein, fumbles the football.
I think they'll rule it dead.
I'm going to say that the ball was dead before it popped loose. Number 54, who thought he had it, is Arthur Scott. Sophomore defensive tackle from Tampa.
The ball popped loose late. So it's down, and they still have possession.
Navy is playing nervously on offense right now. Florida State defense has rattled them. On third down, Lazinski has no opportunity to do anything. Willie Jones was in there. As we look again at the fumble.
There again's the fumble. He goes to the ground, and there the ball pops loose. Late.
The huge roar you hear in the background is for the FSU defense as they come off the field. Willie Jones, as I mentioned, was in there to help with the sack. Walter Carter was the man who got there first. It was an 8-yard loss. The result that Ohanian, who punted 5 times for a 42-yard average in the first half, was kicked from inside his end zone, but he gets away a beauty. Keith Jones falls for and makes the fair catch back at his 44-yard line. Not bad field position for the Seminoles. 37-yard kick by Ohanian. We've got 8 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Florida State has scored 10 quick points in this quarter, and they lead it. It's a good-looking shirt, isn't it, Davis?
I like that.
Flowers.
Enjoying this
flowers.
weather down here.
First down 10 for FSU. And Mark Lyles has the ball. Pickup of about 2. Homecoming day here at FSU. A huge and right now very happy crowd. Must be a capacity crowd. Stadium holds about 47,300, and I don't see an empty seat. Neither team has been extremely effective on the ground. In fact, the two top Navy running backs, Sherlock and Tolbert, have combined to pick up 10 yards in 11 carries against the FSU defense. Jordan throwing down the middle. Great catch by Unglau. What a pair of hands that young man has. 4th catch of the day for Unglau. He had 3 for 58 yards in the first half.
And again, Jimmy, it's that deep route where he's cutting across the middle. He cuts inside a little bit. Then all of a sudden, just straight across inside behind the linebackers. Unglau, the great hands. Came in the ball game with 10 receptions. Every time he'd catch it, 19.4 yards a game.
20-yard pickup. Jimmy Jordan is now 6 of 11 for 107 yards and a touchdown. He's going to go back to it again. This time, he's looking for the tight end down the middle. Number 85 is Brady King in the ball game for the first time. Milo picked him up coming off the line of scrimmage and covered him. Jordan just threw it over the outstretched hands. Brady King has been bothered by a shoulder separation. That's why you saw Childers in there throughout most of the first half. Remember, toward the end of the ball game, we'll be picking Chevrolet offensive and defensive players of the game. A $1,000 scholarship check in the name of each will go to the general scholarship fund of the school that each player plays for. And then on from there to some deserving student in the overall student body. Second down 10. Jordan looking for Platt. He's open. Touchdown. the absence of Jackie Flowers that Florida State would not have a deep threat in the passing game. But Sam Platt comes off the line of scrimmage in a hurry, and he has given them the home run. Kaplan gets the kick pass beyond rushing Charlie Myers, knocks it through. Florida State extends the lead to 24-6. Jimmy Jordan is throwing lightning right now.
He really is. He's doing exactly what he likes to do. Throw the football long. He's going to hit Sam Platt. Platt operating on Zingler, number 36, and Milo, 49. And he just puts the ball right on the money. Platt outruns them all, and he's there in the end zone. Touchdown.
Gorgeous pass from Jordan.
You know, it's amazing. And the quarterback that's doing all the action right now, he didn't start.
That man, Bobby Bowden, made the move midway in the second quarter after Wally Woodham threw 2 interceptions. He came with Jimmy Jordan, and Jordan has had the hot hand. For Platt, that was his 4th catch of the ball game, the 36-yard touchdown catch, giving him 75 yards worth of receptions.
And 2 touchdowns.
And 2 touchdowns. You're right. Unglaub has 4 catches for 76 yards. All in all, 5 different FSU receivers have caught the ball. Capice kicks it deep. Sandy Jones is going to run it back. Wayne Dennis didn't have much success the last 2 times. Jones gets it near the 20. 27 Whiting was down there along with 91 Carlton Jones. A 20-yard run back for Sandy Jones. Very quickly, the statistics on Jimmy Jordan in the ball game now. 13 attempts, 7 completions, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. Woodham, before he left, was 5 of 11 for 67. So they're already over 200 yards passing in the game against a Navy defense which had been giving up less than 100 yards through the air. And the Navy running game is finding tougher and tougher going against that Florida State front. That time it was Dwayne Dennis. Willie Jones wrapped him up.
Now, Jimmy, it's a little bit different. The patience, the things that we talked about Navy, they've got to really change that right now. They've got to go start throwing the football, get their composure back, get back together, and try to get something that can be successful and get them out of the hole. They've started from the 20, the 14, the 16, the 20. That's not good field position.
Lashinsky had nowhere to go. Number 21, Bobby Butler, the cornerback, was right on top of the pitch man. Lashinsky had to keep the football. He was wrapped up by Mossick and Scott Warren. 3rd down, 8 yards to go for Navy.
Third quarter battle is being won by the Seminoles in that defensive line.
If you can't block Simmons, you've got real trouble against FSU's defense, and so far this half, Navy has not been able to block Simmons. Wayne Dennis slips down. Willie Jones turned him in, as did number 24, Mike Kincaid, who came up very strong against that running play from his corner positions. Navy, no first downs in the second half. Now 1 of 9 in the ball game on 3rd down conversions. And that is the reason that Mr. Ohanian is having a busy day. He certainly is. He's on to kick again. The junior from Golden, Colorado. Check it. Senior from Golden, Colorado. Pretty good punter. They're going to miss him next year. Keith Jones back to receive for Florida State as you look at number 90, Art Ohanian. Florida State almost blocked it. Ohanian went down, so did the flag. This will be a roughing the kicker penalty. It was 21, Bobby Butler, who comes flying in there. Florida State tries to block every kick, and he almost got it. But he flipped Ohanian around in the air, and that brought on what will be a roughing the kicker call.
That will help. That'll at least give them another chance and help them try to start things over. They have been frustrated back deep.
First penalty of the ball game against Florida State. Line of scrimmage was the 19, so this should move it to the 34. Well, they almost put it down on the 31. He got a little help from his friends and took it all the way out to the 34, and that will be the spot from which Navy has the football, first down. Along that defensive front right now for Florida State, 80 is Scott Warren, 76 is Walter Carter, 88 Willie Jones, 50 is Simmons, and 54 Arthur Scott. That that is Sherlock with the ball. This time he's able to turn it upfield and get about 4 yards. Number 39, Reggie Herring, was there. So was Keith Jones, 28. Herring was the leading tackler for FSU in the first half.
Jimmy, one thing that is causing Navy to have problems on the wide sweep that they like to run so much, the defensive ends, Willie Jones, Richardson, and Warren, are turning the play inside, forcing to do something they don't want to do.
Sherlock gets a couple, pounding straight up the middle. And that will make it 3rd down, 2.5 for the first down. Simmons, number 50, made the stop.
Let's watch Ron Simmons. Again, we've talked about him all day. Here, double team, sheds the offensive guard, and then takes on the lead blocker, then makes the tackle. We'll see that again to show you all that happens. A lot of people going at him, but he still makes the great play.
Now Navy has asked for a timeout, and let's take one more look at big Ron Simmons in the middle of the line. You saw him taking on no less than 3 blockers before helping to make the tackle on Sherlock.
Steve Kramer, the center, the right guard, 62 Feldman, will come at him right there, both of them. He sheds the right guard. He's standing up, keeping his face on the blocker, pushes off another, then makes the tackle on Sherlock.
So, the situation still 24-6 here, 3:56 to go in the 3rd quarter. Let's go to Andrea Kirby in College Park, Maryland. Michigan will be matched against Ohio State here on ABC next week. Don't miss that game and its Rose Bowl implications. 3rd down, 2 yards to go for Navy at their 42-yard line. Lashinsky wants to pitch. Florida State seals that off and then stops Lashinsky along the line of scrimmage. David Hanks, number 49, was the first man who hit him. I think you'll see that number 50, Simmons, getting up from the bottom of the pile, too. And they'll bring on the change to see if Lashinsky was able to negotiate the necessary 2 yards for the first down.
It's tough enough having Ron Simmons in the middle of the field causing you frustration and going both ways as they get the 1st and 10. Here again, Simmons. 2 blockers still on him. He sheds both of them, and he just keeps rolling, keeps his feet, and moves, has that lateral movement down the field. What makes him a great nose guard is the simple fact that when he gets up on his feet are behind him, his body, he's using his upper body as strength, keeping his feet clear, staying up, making the tackle.
He's 6 feet 4 inches tall, 236 pounds of muscle, a sophomore from Warner Robins, Georgia. Lashinsky throws complete down the middle to Carl Hendershot, and the junior tight end from Petaluma, California, has it inside the Florida State 40 for another Navy first down. Pickup of 16 yards on the play.
Lashinsky will be throwing to 83 Hendershot. Kind of a delayed route. He gets a good stick. Who made the tackle on him?
24, Mike Kincaid. Hardest hitter in the secondary back there for Florida
He hit him
State.
hard that time.
1st and 10 now, just inside the 40. That time it was Sherlock with the football. Reggie Herring dropped him after a pickup of 3 to the 36-yard line.
Ron Simmons, we've talked about, is having a great day from that nose guard position. A few weeks ago, I was in Miami, Florida, when Florida State played Miami. He won the defensive Chevrolet player of the game. He's a top contender right now.
2nd down, 6. Complete. Again, it's Hendershot. He's dropped near the Florida State 20. Navy starting to show some poise on offense now. Number 90, Edinburgh Richardson, a junior defensive end from Crystal River, made the stop, but not before Hendershot picked up another 19 yards for the midshipman.
Lashinsky this time puts pressure on the perimeters, rolls to his left, and will throw the Hendershot 83, sets up, and really Hendershot came from the backside across and under and just got his hands in the air and made the reception. Navy playing cool and yet moving the ball.
Deepest penetration in quite some time for the middies. Trying to hit Hendershot over the middle. The man who was diving for the football in the end zone was number 40, Gary Henry, who was in there giving Keith Jones a breather at strong safety. Check it, he's in for Bonasorte at free safety. Simmons has just been brought to the sidelines. Looks as though he's shaken up a little bit. The replacement at middle guard should be 51 James Gilbert from Miami. It is. Screen pass. That is 38 Klein. And Chris Klein, the junior fullback from Levittown, Pennsylvania, is stopped by Bobby Butler inside the 15-yard line. They mark it right at the 15. It will be 3rd down 4.
This is a good drive, Jimmy, because Navy, they got their break. They've mixed up their plays. They've run. They've thrown the ball inside, outside. That time the screen pass. And they're putting some pressure on Florida State.
Coming up next on NCAA College Football, live at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, immediately following this game, Southern Cal versus UCLA. Some of you in this area will be seeing Florida A&M Southern or Appalachian State Western Carolina. Lashinsky throwing to the corner. Incomplete, intended for Papa John. Good coverage by Bobby Butler. Now 4th down. Will George Welsh opt to send Tata and try to cut it to 24-9, or will they go for the 1st down?
I think with the explosiveness of Florida State, they've got to go for it.
They need touchdowns.
They need
Sandy Jones comes back in, so does Papa John. Lashinsky on the day, 8 of 16, 149 yards. They need to get the ball to the 11. Great poise by Lashinsky. Great catch by Hendershot, short of the 1st down. Florida State holds. The Seminoles will take over. The big story there, the pressure on Lashinsky.
The ability of that defensive line to control Florida State to control Navy. Lashinsky stood in there, though. Took all the pressure, didn't balk at it, went right after it.
Sometimes in desperation, you do what you have to do. He hung in, got rid of the football. They just didn't get enough yardage.
And another thing, they've got Florida State's got a long ways to go, so it wasn't that much of a loss.
There's Jimmy Jordan, man of the hour for the Seminoles. Flag is down as he pitches to Greg Ramsey. Ramsey breaking tackles across the 20 near the 25-yard line. Tom Falk, the leading tackler for Navy from his linebacker position, made the stop. But illegal procedure will be marked off against Florida State. Coming up tonight, Battle of the Network Stars, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central Time. Celebrities include a variety of stars from ABC, CBS, and NBC shows. Louis Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk. LeVar Burton of the Ron LaFleur story. Robin Williams, an incredible talent from Mork and Mindy. Have you seen much of Robin Williams, Dave?
Nano. Y'all get us started on that.
Our producer, Doug Wilson, produced that show last year and had a lot of fun. There's Greg Ramsey, 32, keeping his balance. Open run now, across the 30 to the 32-yard line. I started to say open field in front of him. Just at that time, he was brought down after the 22-yard gain. It was Reggie Trask, the junior defensive end from Gary, Indiana, who finally caught Ramsey from behind. But what a display of balance.
And probably the most significant running play that Florida State has had all afternoon.
24 seconds now, 22 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Clock ticking down. Florida State starting to stay on the ground a little more. On 1st down, Ramsey is wrapped up in his own backfield. And as Ramsey is dropped, time will run out on the 3rd quarter. So it will be 2nd down 8 for Florida State from their own 34-yard line when we come back. The Seminoles leading in the football game 24-6. They had a big 3rd quarter, a 17-point explosion. The big